I think of the quarterback position, they have tried going back to Tim Couch, right?
Yep.
And he had Brady Quinn and Johnny Manziel and Brandon Whedon, and these were guys who were all drafted there. Then you go to Baker
Mayfield.
This is the one that really is the one that has you scratching your head. You had
Totally.
Baker.
Yeah.
You had Baker. You had Baker who wasn't sure. Baker was winning. Baker almost had you in a Super Bowl.
Playoff game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, almost had you in a Super Bowl. To me, Baker should be in Cleveland, and Sam Darnold should be with the Jets. It's a perfect world. I mean, I get it. Organization say, well, Daniel Jones with the Giants. They wouldn't have won there. They needed the jail. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? We all know he wouldn't have done anything there, but over here he's good. I get all that. But when Cleveland had Baker Mayfield, and they hadn't had any success, they hadn't won anything. Okay, go back to at 19.
Mel Kiper just lost it on national TV. The man who's been breaking down draft boards for decades, the voice that general managers secretly check before making million-dollar decisions, just detonated on live air. And this time, his target wasn't a player. It wasn't a prospect. It was an entire franchise. The Cleveland Browns. He didn't hold back, he didn't sugarcoat, he flat out said it. This is one of the most embarrassing organizational screw-ups I've ever seen in my career. And when Mel Kiper Jr. says this is bad, you stop and listen. Because something is seriously wrong in Cleveland. This explosion came just days after the Browns were humiliated in Foxborough, losing 32-13 to the New England Patriots. Dillon Gabriel, the quarterback Kevin Stefanski handpicked, looked completely out of sync. Turnovers, sacks, broken plays. It was a disaster. And what made it worse? Shedeur Sanders never touched the field. How do you lose by 19 points, have your offense collapse, and still keep your most talented quarterback on the bench? Kiper's rant wasn't just frustration, it was a warning shot to the NFL. He accused the Browns of ruining quarterbacks for 25 years straight. From Tim Couch to Brady Quinn, Johnny Manziel, Brandon Whedon, Baker Mayfield, the list goes on. And now, according to Mel Kiper, they're doing it again with Shedeur Sanders. Kiper went nuclear, saying this franchise has become a quarterback graveyard since 1999. He pointed out how Cleveland finally hit on Baker Mayfield, a quarterback who nearly led them to the AFC Championship and still found a way to drive him out. And now, they're repeating history. You can hear the disbelief in his voice. You had Baker. He was winning. He had you one game away from the Super Bowl, and you let him walk. That's not bad luck. That's organizational failure. And the scary part? That's right. Do you think the Browns are sabotaging Shedeur Sanders the same way they did Baker Mayfield? Or is this just the same old Cleveland curse all over again? Comment below. I really want to hear your take. Because when you look at how this team operates, it's hard not to wonder if something deeper's going on. Reports say 9 NFL executives had Shedeur ranked as the #1 quarterback on their draft boards. 9. And yet, somehow, he fell to the 5th round. Pick 144. Because if there's one team that doesn't know how to handle young quarterbacks, it's the Cleveland Browns. Every generation, the Browns promise hope. And every generation, they bury another quarterback's career. So let's talk about the present point. 4 weeks into the season, Dillon Gabriel is statistically one of the worst starters in the NFL. Completion percentage under 60, passer rating in the low 70s, and the Browns' offense ranks 29th in scoring. Fans are booing in the stands, calling for Shedeur's name. The Cleveland media, usually loyal to a fault, is turning on Stefanski. Even local columnists are writing headlines like, "Play the kid before it's too late." And yet, Shedeur still hasn't been elevated to the active roster. The official line? He's dealing with back tightness. But insiders are whispering something very different, that this might be an internal power struggle. Because inside the Browns building, it's Stefanski versus Andrew Berry, the head coach versus the general manager, the Dillon Gabriel guy versus the Shedeur Sanders believer. According to Kiper, Stefanski personally handpicked Gabriel before the draft. That was his guy, his project. Andrew Berry, the GM, had Shedeur graded as a first-round value. When Sanders fell to the 5th, Berry made the call himself to grab him at 144. It was supposed to be a steal, a future franchise quarterback sitting right there for pennies on the dollar.
in 1999, no consistency at quarterback. 15 times since AFC North came in 2002, they finished in last place. 15 times in last place. One playoff win since 1999. I mentioned the quarterbacks they've had busts galore, right? But they had one they hit on. When you hit on a quarterback, and you know in that building and on that field, you got the right guy who's a leader, the players rally around, and you let him go and you cut him loose, shame on you.
That's the moment the internet exploded. #FreeShedeur started trending on X. Fans flooded the Browns' official Instagram, begging the team to give the rookie a chance. Former players chimed in. Even Shedeur's college teammates, guys from Colorado, started tweeting support. But inside Berea, silence.no statements. No press conference. Just quiet tension. But Stefanski? He's not letting go to he's riding with Gabriel until the wheels fall off. And guess what? After that 32-13 embarrassment against New England, those wheels are already off. If you're Andrew Berry, do you step in and force Stefanski's hand? Or do you risk losing your locker room trying to protect a coach's ego? Mel Kiper sure didn't mince words. Some organizations touch gold. Some touch quarterbacks and turn them into dust. And man, that quote hit hard. Because right now, Cleveland is turning everything it touches into dust. Think about it. Baker Mayfield, now in Tampa Bay, is balling out. He's confident, efficient, proving everyone wrong. Joe Flacco, who the Browns gave up on, is thriving as a veteran mentor elsewhere. And meanwhile, in Cleveland, they're stuck between indecision and disaster. It's not just losing games. It's losing identity. When your head coach and GM don't believe in the same quarterback, your franchise isn't just divided, it's doomed. And right now, the Browns are staring down that reality. The fan base knows it. The locker room feels it. And after this last loss, the national media is finally saying it out loud. But Mel Kiper went even further. He said this entire situation reeks of sabotage. Sabotage. That's a strong word, especially from a guy known for measured takes. But Kiper laid out why. 9 executives believed in Shedeur. The Browns GM believed in Shedeur. The media saw the potential. But suddenly, the narrative flipped. He's not ready. He's not healthy. He needs time. Sound familiar? That's the same script Cleveland ran with Baker before sending him packing. And here's the craziest part. Even with all this chaos, Stefanski's reportedly doubling down. Multiple sources say he plans to start Gabriel again next week, ignoring fan backlash and internal pressure. At what point does loyalty to your system become blindness? Because right now, it feels like the Browns are burning their future just to prove a point. Mel Kiper ended his segment with one of the coldest lines of his career. When a franchise destroys this many quarterbacks, it's not bad luck, it's identity. And that's what Cleveland is fighting now, not just bad football, but a broken identity. The Browns don't just lose games, they lose quarterbacks. And Shedeur Sanders might be next in line. The days after Mel Kiper's explosion have been absolute chaos in Cleveland. The fan base is divided. The media's relentless. And the locker room, it's uneasy. Players whispering, veterans frustrated, rookies confused. Because deep down, everyone feels what Kiper said out loud. Something is broken inside this franchise. After that humiliating 32-13 loss to the Patriots, reports started leaking out. Some players privately admitted they don't understand why Shedeur isn't getting first-team reps. Others say the energy in practice changes when he's under center, quicker tempo, sharper focus, more belief. But for some reason, Kevin Stefanski keeps doubling down on Dillon Gabriel, who's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns and looks lost out there. It's not just bad football anymore, it's self-destruction in real time. Mel Kiper called it exactly that on ESPN radio the next morning. He said, "Cleveland's doing what Cleveland always does, they get scared of talent they can't control." That line hit like a thunderbolt. Because when you look at Shedeur's story, the swagger, the charisma, the poise under pressure, he's not a system guy. He's a leader. And history tells us that Cleveland doesn't know how to handle leaders at quarterback. They had one in Baker Mayfield. They ran him off. They had a veteran savior in Joe Flacco. They let him walk. Now they've got Shedeur Sanders sitting there, waiting for his moment, and the organization's pretending he's invisible. How many times does Cleveland have to repeat this same mistake before they learn? Can you really build a future by burying your best hope on the bench? Let me know what you think down below. Inside league circles, people are starting to talk. Anonymous scouts told reporters that several teams are monitoring the situation. In Cleveland, code 4, if they blow this, we'll be ready to swoop in. And you can bet Shedeur's camp is watching too. His father, Shedeur Sanders, hasn't said a word publicly, but insiders say Coach Prime is furious behind the scenes. Think about that dynamic for a second. The most influential father in football right now, watching his son get stonewalled by an organization known for destroying quarterbacks. That's a story that can explode any second. When Shedeur Sanders goes quiet, it's never peace, it's pressure building. Meanwhile, Mel Kiper doubled down again midweek. You've got a 5th-round steal sitting there. 9 executives had him as QB1 on their board, and you're wasting him behind a guy who can't move the chains. That's malpractice. Malpractice. That's the word he used. And honestly, he's not wrong. Because at this point, what else can you call it? Gabriel's passer rating is dropping every week. The Browns' offense ranks bottom 5 in total yards. Their defense, one of the best in the league, is being left stranded. And yet, Kevin Stefanski acts like everything's fine. Fans are done. They're chanting, Shedeur. In the stands, Cleveland talk shows are ripping Stefanski daily. And still, he refuses to budge. That one statement sent shockwaves through the league. Because Mel Kiper never talks like that, not unless he truly believes it. Do you agree with Mel Kiper? Would Shedeur already be a starter on another team right now if he wasn't stuck in Cleveland's system? Comment your take. I'm reading every single one. Kiper then pivoted to the heart of the issue, the Browns' culture. He said, quarterbacks don't fail in Cleveland by accident, they fail by design. He laid it all out: the instability, the coaching changes, the lack of patience, the front office politics. Every few years, the Browns tear down and restart, blaming players instead of fixing the environment that breaks them. And what's worse, they keep repeating the same pattern, expecting a different result. Remember the stat he dropped. Since 2002, the Browns have finished last in their division 15 times. They've had 1 playoff win since 1999. That's not bad luck. That's institutional failure. And if you're Shedeur Sanders, that's your reality right now. You walk into a franchise where your GM believes in you, your coach doesn't, and your teammates are caught in the middle. You hear fans chanting your name every week, but you're not even listed as the backup. You're watching Billy freaking Zapp, hold your spot on the depth chart. If this isn't sabotage, then what is it? Because let's be real, if Shedeur were healthy enough for back treatment, he's healthy enough to play football. Every sign points to a front office power struggle that's now costing this team its season. And Mel Kiper exposed it all. He didn't just criticize the Browns. He put their dysfunction on trial. He called out Kevin Stefanski by name. He called out owner Jimmy Haslam for 25 years of quarterback chaos. He called out GM Andrew Berry for being too quiet when it's time to lead. The clip went viral. Millions of views in hours. Every major sports outlet picked it up. And suddenly, the narrative flipped. It's not can Shedeur Sanders play? It's will the Browns ever let him? If you're Shedeur, do you stay patient and wait it out? Or do you start looking for a way out next offseason? What would you do in his shoes? Even former players are weighing in. Joe Flacco reportedly told friends he feels bad for the kid. Baker Mayfield was asked about it in Tampa and said, Shedeur's a baller. He'll get his shot. I just hope Cleveland doesn't mess it up again. That right there tells you everything. The ghosts of the past are warning the present. When your former quarterbacks are all thriving somewhere else, maybe the problem was never the players. As we head into Week 6, the Browns are staring down another must-win. Gabriel's leash is shorter than ever, the locker room is restless, and Mel Kiper's words are echoing through every hallway in Berea. You can feel it, the tension, the fear, the anticipation. Everyone's asking the same thing. When will they finally unleash Shedeur Sanders? Because here's the truth, the kid was born for this. He's calm, composed, polished beyond his years. You don't dominate at Colorado, handle media pressure like a pro, and fall apart because of a few bad headlines. Shedeur's built for the big moments. He's just waiting for one. And maybe, just maybe, Mel Kiper's outburst forces Cleveland's hand. Because now the entire football world is watching. The Browns can't hide Shedeur Sanders anymore. The secret's out. The storm's coming. Kiper ended his segment with a line that might define this entire saga. When a franchise destroys this many quarterbacks, it's not coincidence. It's who they are. Those words hit Cleveland like a sledgehammer, and they might be the wake-up call this organization desperately needs. Because if they keep going down this path, if they keep protecting egos over talent, they're not just wasting Shedeur's career, they're confirming everything the critics have ever said. So, Browns fans, NFL fans, Shedeur fans, the question isn't if Mel Kiper's right. The question is, will Cleveland ever prove him wrong? And that's today's story from Gridiron Insights. Mel Kiper Jr. just tore the Browns front office to shreds, and honestly, he might have said what every fan's been thinking for years. Do you believe Shedeur Sanders will finally get his shot this season? Or is Cleveland about to ruin another quarterback's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you stand with Shedeur, and subscribe to Gridiron Insights for more NFL breakdowns, controversies, and behind-the-scenes drama. Turn on notifications so you never miss when Shedeur's story finally turns the page, because this one's far from over.